Okay, Monday, 5th of February 2024. So, go where you're treated best. Now, this is a phrase I came across multiple years ago now, maybe 2018, 17, 19, by Andrew Henderson of the Nomad Capitalist YouTube channel. Now, it's a phrase that I really do wish that I'd come up with. Go where you're treated best, because it's so succinct, so poignant, so effective, so simple, and it summarizes a lot of things, and it's just a simple answer and solution to a lot of problems. Go where you're treated best. I like that. Now, lately I've been watching every now and then a few videos about the things happening in the UK, the society, the issues, the challenges, inflation, cost of living, whatever else. I don't normally follow those things, but I just thought, out of curiosity, I'll watch a few and learning a few more things about what's happening in the UK, because I don't really watch the news in the UK like at all. I'm too international, too focused on other things, what's happening abroad, in the globe, in the world, the bigger, much bigger picture. And because of the work, my expenses are quite low, let's say. Okay, fair enough. So I'm thinking then, I've noticed that a lot of people are complaining about this price or that price, or issues over here, issues over there in the UK. And I'm thinking, if it's a problem here in the UK and it's going to continue, it's chronic, then why not relocate? Why not go abroad? Why not go where you're treated best? Go somewhere to where greener pastures are, or go somewhere where there's more opportunity, or the cost of living is higher. Lower, or the standard of living is higher. Things like that. If it's a problem in one specific location in the world, in this case England, why stay there? Now, unless you want to change things from the inside, politically or socially, you want to change things, you want to champion a movement, by all means, nothing wrong with that. But why stay there? Why stay in one place if you're being treated badly? Why stay in one place if you're being mistreated? Or why stay in a situation or place where you aren't being treated best? You aren't being treated as you aren't being praised, let's say. You aren't being treated as amazingly as you could be. You could be, or you want to be, or you deserve to be. Okay, different metrics. So just generally speaking, why not move abroad? Why not go where you're treated best? And I mean that partially sincerely and partially out of curiosity, where if it's a problem in one place, why not leave? Now, of course, that's a very naive way of looking. I think it can be seen as naive, where simply just going abroad, because if there's any problems in your environment, the chances are they could also be stemming from your attitude, your priorities, your values, your standards, your attitude towards things. If you just go from one place to another, the problems will be generally similar because you fundamentally haven't changed. So, but still, go where you're treated best. If it's a problem socially over here, the lifestyle, the culture, the weather, you name it, why not go somewhere else where it's better? And again, I mean that sincerely. It's a question that gets you thinking, why not relocate in general? Okay. So that's an interesting little observation I had with the UK. People are saying how bad it is because of this or that, but still continue to live here. Now, in the life, we can do what we want. We're adults, do what you want, by all means. But it's one of those options where it's like I've come to realize that you have more options in life than you realize. You've got more choices in life than you realize. When you think about things harder or deeper or more technically, you start to uncover and realize you have more choices than you first initially realize. And I also find in life that there's always a third option. There's always a fourth option. There's always a fifth, sixth, seventh. There's always more alternatives to what you're currently doing. Or there are more alternatives. There are more alternative solutions to the problem you currently have. And the more you think, the more solutions you come up with. So, for example, I have some clients that are living in Central Europe. And I say to them, well, that's a European passport, EU, and you're earning in European currency, and within reason you're working online. So why not relocate from that country? Well, look at the map where your passport allows you to go. Oh, there's an interesting island in the Caribbean, other side of the world, that's technically part of Netherlands. Okay, there's a few islands there. So why not, with your passport and your currency and your online job, why not relocate? I mean, other side of the world, don't get me wrong, different time zone, different climate. to this part of Europe in the Caribbean, technically, legally part of Europe in the Caribbean, and change your life. Yeah, or a complete different corner of Europe in general. It's possible. And when I told this and explained this to these clients, they never knew about this. They never saw that. They have the passport they have right now in their hands, and there's this corner in the world, which is technically part of EU, that they could relocate to, hypothetically speaking. So I'm like, well, it's an option worth exploring. It's an option worth thinking about. It's an option worth theorizing and strategizing. Okay. So then you could say, follow the logic and raise the stakes. UK people, there are British overseas territories that have, you could argue, different potential. Gibraltar's an example. This way, you're still technically in the UK, still all the same, generally same culture, same currency, same language, same side, not necessarily same side of the road, but there's going to be differences of weather and, the culture of the area and other technicalities, but there's other places out there in the world. Cayman Islands. Now, you could say going to Gibraltar or Cayman Islands is very expensive, don't get me wrong. Okay, it's not easy. Okay, then we'll look for places and countries that are generally cheaper, more affordable. I find that when you learn other languages, it opens more opportunities for you. Yeah. Or going abroad where a lot of people speak English anyway. More opportunities. Yeah. These other countries, what do I want to say? Other countries, currency, the money. There's something else I wanted to say about that. It'll come back to me. But the point is there are more options in life to go and more chances to go where you're treated best. Now, is it overnight? No. Is it long and complicated? Yeah, it can be. Yeah. But if your back is against the wall, there's always an option. It's always an idea. It's like you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. That's an important concept here, an important principle. Einstein said that. You can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. It takes out-of-the-box thinking to completely turn a situation around. And, well, the more out-of-the-box it is, the more drastic it's going to be changed. That's important to understand. The more drastic the new remedy is, the bigger the change will be. Changing things here and there is not going to make much difference. But when you change something big and fundamental, complete different outcome. And remember the thing now, finding places abroad that are cheaper, for example, or better, or whatever else. There's a very useful website called Numbeo. 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 And you can look at the cost of living between different cities in the world. London versus Paris, for example. Then it shows you different factors, like London is 5% more expensive in terms of rent than London, or than Paris. Or Paris is like 17% cheaper in terms of groceries. And then you can break it down individually, like the price of bread, for example, in London is X, and the price of bread in Paris is like Y. So you can see these minute details. Now, this is averages. These are averages, and averages are very skewed, but it gives you a sense, a feeling for what to expect in different places before you actually go there. So there are ways to do research from home about where to go. Where is mathematically a good place to be based on a few of the factors? Because the more information we have, the easier we can make a decision, and or the more confident we can make that decision, as opposed to just picking a random place, that one. Why? Or because random. But if we are more technical and specific and mathematical, we can pinpoint and say, right, we specifically want this country because X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Makes sense. So I mean this in a sincere way, maybe a naive way as well, but an optimistic way. I always like to be optimistic. Why not go where you're treated best? Why not go where you're treated best? And there are ways you can figure out where you would be treated best. YouTube is a good tool. Different cultures and places, different travel vlogs out there. Numbeo, based on current circumstances, online working, for example, you can find out where's a good, cheaper place to be, that would give you a higher standard of living. So, generally speaking, why not go where you're treated best? I think it's worthwhile thinking about. But yeah. But otherwise, you will see me tomorrow.